What's up, guys? This is Flashflooder from DJ Tech Tools, and today I'm excited to show you a new version of the MIDI Fighter 3D DeckGratMotion version 2 mapping for Traktor Pro 2. We're going to take a look at what's changed, how it works, and why it's good for you. Let's take a look. The first thing you're going to want to do in order to get this mapping is to go to maps.djtechtools.com, and in there we're going to look for a MIDI Fighter 3D mapping. Let's just search for that. We'll be looking for DeckGratMotion, which appears first. Because it's by Flashflooder, who is me. And we get there, and in that you'll be able to get a download file, which is going to give you a TSI file, an MFS file, and a PNG visual layout. Now they'll have all the instructions on the page on how to import that, a little picture of what's going on, and all that. So assume you download all of that. Just follow the directions on the page. You'll import the MFS file into your MF utility to set up the MIDI Fighter 3D with the appropriate settings. And then you'll use the TSI file to import into Traktor using this big import button. Then you should get two things in there, MIDI Fighter 3D DeckGrat and a DeckGratMotion. We're going to work together to make this mapping. Important thing, you need to check your import and your output are set to your MIDI Fighter 3D, because this is how the mapping communicates with the controller. Assuming you have all that done, we're going to go straight into the mapping. And first of all, we're going to start with new things in the version 2 mapping, specifically how the motion effects have changed. I'll go over the rest of the stuff at the end, but that's more transport, instant gratification, decalized stuff, which some of you guys might already be familiar with. So for the motion things, you have 3 axes of motion. In this, you have a forward motion, a left, and a right. And you can control each with various presets and different effects. For the forward motion, you're going to want to press the first button on either side of the 3 side buttons, and that'll bring up this orange row of kind of your forward presets. Now you can see one's already flashing, which shows I'm already have one loaded, and then that's the delay and reverb, which is the same as the V1, and you have 3 others. So I'm just going to play a track here, and then to give you an example of what it sounds like. You can hear it's kind of a delay and reverb sort of sound. And then we have 3 others. So here we have a beat masher, which is cool and it's very responsive. And we have a gator. And you have a peak filter. A little more subtle, but very nice as well. Alright, so you got that. And then beyond that, we also have some side motion effects, which is going to be effects for the left side and for the right side. So how you're going to control those is using the other 2 side buttons. The left 2 side buttons will control the left effects, and the right 2, bottom 2 will control the right effects. So if I press any of these left 2, you see it's loading up these guys here. The red means the effects are off. So say if I'm playing a song, it's not going to do anything. And then these other ones will all have other effects. So this yellow one is to show it's a filter. So this is your typical low pass filter. I'll play this. You can kind of hear. And then the other 6 are different effects, which I'll go over real quick. You have a tape delay. And then you have, a filter pulse. And you have a peak filter, which is the same as on the forward motion, but I'll explain in a second why. You have it again here, so you can combine it. Reverb T3 for a big reverb sound. A performance filter. Kind of like a talk box sound. And then an event horizon. Alright, so that's those guys. You can turn them off like that, or you can keep them on, do whatever you like. On the right side, you have a similar thing going on. You have 6 effects, a filter, and an off. So that's off, of course. This is a high-pass filter, just to give you an example. And you have your effects. This is a digital lo-fi kind of distorted sound. We have a granu phase. And we have a flanger pulse. That's a cool sound. Then we have a laser slicer. And after that, we have a bass-o-matic. And then we have this fast stretch, which can make some really crazy sounds. It's also appropriate for, say, the end of the song if you want to do a crazy fade-out like. Alright, that's pretty cool. The cool thing about these effects too is because now you have control of all three axes and you have different effects on each, you can make cool combinations. So when you do this kind of swivel thing, you can kind of get a variety of effect sounds. So as you guys might remember, in V1 you had 5 effects presets for each side and you had 1 set forward motion. Now you have 7 for each side and you have 4 for the front, which gives you 28 different effects combinations for each diagonal axis, which is really cool and can make a lot of different sounds. So I'll just real quickly give you guys an idea what I'm talking about in case you're confused. I'll throw in a different song. So let's grab Beat Masher and let's grab, say, like a peak filter. Or I can do something else. Let's go. That's pretty fun. As you can guess, you can get some different combinations on each side. So I can do something like a gator, and let's do whatever this is. That's pretty fun. And so obviously there are a lot of different combinations you can do. And you know, if you even want, you can go in and change the mapping. I always comment it to make it easy. You can ask me questions on maps to explain how to do that. So that's pretty much how the motion all works. You have your right, you got your left, you got your forward. You can turn them all off if you want, in case, say, you're in like a bass rattling club and you're super nervous or afraid. And that's how the motion all works. So now we go on to the transport stuff, and this is pretty much the same as the before with a few little changes. It's like a decalized plus instant gratification mapping combined. So we have your play pause here. You have your cue here. And then so if you're playing here, you also have with your shift function, you can drop a cue. And the shift function for the play is a replay, which will play over and over again from the last cue marker, which can be kind of cool. You can kind of set a cue point on the fly and play with it like that. You can also, with this button, turn sync on. It's showing sync is off right now. And when you turn it on, it turns red. And then a new feature in Traktor 2.6 is flex mode, which is pretty cool. And with shift and the sync button, you can turn on flex mode. So you can see if I do that. It's going to flash to show you it's on. And then, say, if you turn sync off, it'll still flash to show you that you still have it on, which is really important because with flex mode, it can be kind of disastrous if you don't remember what's going on, and so you try to touch a jog wheel or press a cue point expecting to jump there, and as in flex mode, the song goes on, and so that's important to know. In terms of other things, you have all your instant gratification effects here. You got your reverb, delay T3, filter LFO, the ever popular echo freeze, 4 beat masher values, and 2 gator values, a filter LFO, and a digital lo-fi. And same like in the V1, you can press any of them and then you can tilt it back to modulate it from that rate. So say I got your LFO and I want to kind of play with it a little bit. That's cool. You can do the same with a beat masher. You can do some stuff like that here. Play with the gators, all that sort of stuff. So that's cool. Besides that, what do we have? We have cue point mode. So shift plus the reverb will bring up cue points. And this will show you, right now I don't have any cue points going in this song, so let's play it and So that shows you that they light up when there are cue points and they dimly lit when there's no cue point. And let's say I set a loop, so let's just do it in a software real quick, set some 2 count loop. Now, say if I set a loop, you'll see it turns green to show you it's a loop cue point. That's really cool. Alright, so then we go out of this. If you want to set a loop on the fly, you can use Shift and the beat masher buttons. And you can do a 8 count loop, a 4 count loop, a 2 count loop, and a 1 count loop. You can press them to get out of there. That's pretty cool. On the top we have these 4 buttons which are controlling what deck. So this is deck A, B, and then you can't see it on the screen, but C and D. Just to mention, this is a deck focus style mapping, which means it's using the deck focus. As you can see on the screen, A right now is highlighted orange, B is orange. So you need to make sure if those aren't showing up, you need to go into your preferences and set the deck focus to software, and then it'll work all like that. Alright guys, hopefully you enjoyed the mapping and learned a few things. To show off your skills and see what you can do with it, post a video response to this YouTube video showing what you can do, and maybe we'll show it off on DJ Tech Tools to see how great the MIDI Fighter 3D can really be in your setup. Until later, this is Flashflooder with DJ Tech Tools. See you later.